I wanted to start with a meditation and a song anyways, so we'll just wait. We expect about 40 or so people to come, so we wait a few more minutes, but we can already, yeah, just set an intention and get settled.
So you go ahead and play, and I'll lead us in a setting of the intention.
Beautiful.
Just take those deep breaths. Whenever you're ready to start recording, sister, we can do that too, and we'll start.
Yeah, we're already recording, so
Oh, okay.
free to start.
Okay. So as we allow ourselves to be gathered here in a sacred space, coming together, building bridges, not walls, we allow ourselves to accept the truth, the insight, the inspiration, that we are truly here to be helpful, supportive, united, in unity and in love. So I set this intention that we lift and shift our minds, our bodies, and spirits in the oneness, in the togetherness, as we walk over this bridge together, hand in hand, sister and brother. For everyone here live or watching the replay, may this sacred space carry you forth through the rest of your day, through the rest of your weekend, and the rest of your life. For this and so much more, I am grateful. So I let it be. I let it go, and I let this beautiful songstress, my sister Neda, just take over. Let spirit sing through her graciously and gratefully. And so it is. Amen. Ashe.
I have decided to stick with love, 'cause hate is too great a burden to bear. We may have all come on different ships, but we on the same boat now. We must learn to live together as brothers, or perish together as fools. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So I'm asking you today, do you have the courage? Do you have the courage to stand up and choose love, choose love, 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 love? Take a moment to inhale and exhale deeply. You can do so on a sound. You can inhale and exhale on whatever sound comes up for you. Just relaxing your jaw. And just notice how you're sitting here. What thoughts did you bring to this session? What feelings? What mind state? Can you just invite all of it in? Let all of it be welcome in this moment here together. Nothing has to change or go away. Just look at it with a curious and open mind, knowing that it is all helpful for this moment together. And see if you have an intention for yourself that you would like to set, a purpose, why you felt drawn to join. Maybe it's something you've thought of already, or maybe it's something new that comes up in your mind. And see if you can take a step back as we fully hand over this time together to the Spirit, knowing all we had to do was show up and be willing. So we can have a big sigh, knowing, oh, okay. The hardest part is over. The time is always right to do the right thing. Only in darkness can you see the dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That's why I'm asking you today. Do you have the courage? Do you have the courage to stand up and choose for love? Oh, do you have the courage? Do you have the courage to stand up and choose for love? Choose for love, 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 love. Choose for love. And I thank all of you joining here today, because I know that all of you do have that courage. And that is why we are joining our minds here together. As A Course in Miracles said, our task is not to seek for love, for that is what we are. But it is our task to seek and find all the barriers within ourselves that we have placed against the love that we are. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find these barriers within ourselves, right? If we just go and sit somewhere and I'll be like, let's see, what barriers did I place against love? Let me look here. Let me go within. But it makes it a lot easier when I look outside. When I look outside of myself, when I watch the news, or when I'm with my partner, or with my children, or with family or co-workers. They can very easily show me my barriers, the barriers that I build against the love that I am. And the ego's purpose of these relationships is to reinforce guilt, is to make guilt real, is to keep us asleep, is to keep us in the dream of blame and attack. In the dream of thinking that I could be better as someone else, or someone else could be worse than me. Given all of this to the Holy Spirit, all of these images on this screen, however intense they are, they become so helpful. Because they show us where we are still believing something that is not real, where we are still believing that we are separated, that we are separate from God. And that belief hurts. It really, really, really hurts. And I think all of you join here together because we're done with all that pain. We want something different, and we know that that change We can wait a very long time for that change to appear outside of us, for someone else to fix what we think is broken. And that's why A Course in Miracles says, don't seek to change the world, but merely change your mind. Change your mind about the world. We have that power. Our power lies in our own mind. And our mind is so powerful. But the ego makes us believe that we're weak, that we're victims of the world, that we are innocent bystanders just having to wait and just suffer from all that is done to us. But we do come together also here now to vocalize and shine a light upon those feelings, because we can't just bypass them and say that only love is real and pretend like we don't feel these feelings of injustice and pretend like we don't feel hurt when we do. Because by doing so, we will only keep them alive, because the Spirit is asking of us, basically the only thing that the Spirit is asking of us is to look within. Don't be afraid to look within. Because when we look together with the Spirit can truly judge what it is that we're seeing. It's like a light that is shining upon the darkness. It does not attack it, but it does shine it away. And that is when we look within and we look on all those feelings of guilt, of hurt, of anger, of sadness, feelings of injustice. When we look on those with the Spirit, He doesn't join those feelings. The Spirit doesn't go like, oh, I'm so sorry for you and you're right. The Spirit just looks with clear vision, like a light shining upon the darkness. It doesn't fight with it or have a conversation first with it. It just shines it away. It's like when the truth enters the illusion, it's gone. When you wake up from a dream, the dream is gone. Speak up in truthful love. Do you have the courage to stand up and choose for love? Choose for love, 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 love.
Bravo, sister. I have to, next time I just have to know to bring tissues whenever you're singing, because you always take me to such a place that's so deep in my spirit. So I just applaud you so much. Applaud you so much. Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining with me. I want to share a bit on how we got here and hand the microphone over to you. Because this is actually the first time me and Tonya are doing something together, although it feels like we've known each other for many lives. I contacted Tonya, when was it? Tuesday, maybe?
Tuesday, yes. It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah.
Tuesday, yeah. Because I just felt like so much was coming up for me, seeing all of the news around George Floyd being killed, I was just watching my mind and seeing, yeah, what it was doing for me, feeling that I should do something, but really wanting to come from a deeper place. I was really praying to spirit, like, I don't want to use this to make the error real. I don't want to use this to reinforce the guilt in my mind. I want to use this for the purpose of healing and for the purpose of remembering who we truly are and joining for that purpose and with that purpose. And I really don't want to use this to make any exceptions on what I've been teaching, because I feel that's what's happening now for so many people, and it's just what happens often with the ego, that the ego always likes to make exceptions. It's always like, yes, of course, only love is real, but some people, they deserve to go to hell, or and the Course in Miracles also says, like, this course is either believed entirely or not at all. It can be believed just a little bit. It's either or, and it's okay if we do notice that we're making those exceptions. It is okay to notice, like, hey, I do feel that I'm attacking this police officer right now in my mind. I do feel that I'm wishing bad things towards him right now, and that I don't see him as that perfect Christ. That's perfectly fine, as long as we can see it, noticing, and ask for help. So I was seeing myself doing that. I was like, oh, okay, I see I can't fully see this in the light. I see I can't fully perceive this as love. I see that I do feel anger, I do feel guilt, I do feel shame, I do feel a lot of things. So then it's like a clear sign for me to say, okay, spirit, help me out, because I do want to use this for the purpose, for your purpose, and not for my ego's purpose. So there's always this moment, like, okay, help, help. I can't see this clearly myself, and I need help. And the moment that I did that and I turned within and I asked for help, I already instantly felt more peace. And the beautiful thing from there on is that a lot of people think that to do something in this world, they have to be angry. Like to be angry is like their motor, their fire for making things happen in the world. But I actually noticed that when I'm peaceful and clear, and my mind is clear, there can be inspired action that is inspired from that state of mind. So yeah, the moment that I was asking for help, Tonya came to mind, and I was like, I feel I have to connect with her. And then I went on Instagram and I saw that she was doing a live right on that moment. So we connected and we instantly felt like, yes, let's do something together. Let's come together as sisters and yeah, just shine a light upon whatever is happening right now and create a safe space for us to join. So welcome, Tonya. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, beloved sister. It is such an honor and privilege to join with you. First of all, you guys, as you can hear, she's an amazing songstress. Her album, I'm a huge fan of her music. She has a beautiful album called The Light Has Come, and it's what I listen to all day long. I really do, in between my days of taking a break, having lunch. And so if you are listening or wanting some spiritual music to uplift your soul, her album, The Light Has Come, is definitely at the top of my list, and I do listen to it every day. So I had a fan moment first, and then it was really about us coming together as sisters, because what we're experiencing out in the world is such a reflection of what's happening within. The energy that we've come off of this, I don't even know what to call it now, but this experience that we're having in the world is showing us the experience that we're having within, the whole, the layers and layers of it. And so by us connecting, I knew that it was an opportunity for spirit to use us. And I just said, I don't know what I'm doing, but you do. And I had recently attended a conference, and both Neda and I were both in attendance. And this was actually before, I think it was the weekend before the George Floyd incident experience now. And there was an, a void of not, there were people of color in the community, in the experience. However, out of a panel of 30, there were no presenters of color. And it struck me right away. And I noticed it. And even before I signed up, I hesitated on it. And this is, I'm telling you the absolute truth, because I want you to know where I'm coming from, which created this experience for all of us. And so I said, okay, so there's no people. And I said, but I'm not going to let that stop me from serving and getting what I need, spiritual food. I'm not going to let that barrier, because I've been in that room before. I've been at that place of that wall, and that wall, ego wanted me to say, don't go, don't go, don't go. Look it, there's none of you in the room. And I said, no, I'm going to go, because this is what I have been guided. This is how I allow myself to learn more. And so then the creator came on and apologized and said, I didn't even think of it. And I said, okay. And at that moment, I knew then the voice of the ancestors or whomever spirit came through and said, let's build bridges, not walls. And I knew that that was from Reverend Martin Luther King. And so right then I started thinking, I need to do something in A Course in Miracles for people of color. I need to create a space. I need to create an experience. And then right after that, the death of George Floyd. And then the weeks, the days now that have led up to today. And so when Neda and I connected on Tuesday, we were both just passionate and fired up and ready to be here, to serve spirit, to show up, not just for our sisterhood, brotherhood, but for the world, because there are walls already in place. And we want to create bridges, because, you know, the truth is, Martin Luther King never made it over the bridge. They did not let him cross. And many people forget that story in Selma, that he crossed the bridge. No, he actually did not. They stopped him from crossing the bridge. And I know it is our mission together for each and every one of us to be the ones who do cross the bridge, not just for ourselves, for our children, for our families, but for Martin Luther King, for Malcolm X, for all of our ancestors who've come before us that didn't get here. We are the ancestors of those ancestors. And so we are paving a new road for our children, for the next generations, by having this opportunity to come together now and build bridges and not walls. And so,
Beautiful.
yeah, so yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, so what I had in mind, that I think there's some people new. I know some people, but I think some people also came through Tonya probably.
Mhm.
And perhaps there's like half of the crowd that actually had the timing as you promoted it, because we had a little um instant with the time. It was teaching us again that time is an illusion. Um yeah, with the time difference. So Tonya actually had a different time in mind. So there might be, that's why there are a little fewer people than we expected, but they can watch this back and it will all be perfect. But I really, for the people that are new to me, next to being a singer and a Course in Miracles teacher, I also do voice liberation work. I use the voice to really access our unconscious mind and release the blocks that we have built against the love that we are. And the voice is just such an amazing, powerful super tool actually that we have within ourselves to access our deeper emotions and to release them. So I will later on share a little exercise that if you feel to join, you can do that, and you don't have to unmute yourself. You can just fully go in your own space and just release some of these emotions. But before we do that, I would just love to open it up for more sharings. If you feel to share about, yeah, just what has been coming up for you before we go and shine a light upon it and more release it. I just really want to give the space to actually talk about it, and you're allowed to be mad or feel guilty, or no private thoughts. You can just share whatever's on your heart, and yeah, we're here in love supporting you. So if there's anyone that feels that they want to share what has been coming up for them in the light of this week and everything that happened, and feel free to raise your hand, and I will unmute you. Hmm. Let's see someone. Yeah. Anyone feels to share anything that came up, or the intention? Maybe someone likes to share their intention for joining with us tonight. I see Jessica. Yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for having this. First of all, this is an amazing event to just spontaneously pull together. It's incredible. So it's wonderful to see.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, and I feel like this whole thing for me brings up a lot of complex kind of reactions, and yeah, like helplessness. I notice some shame coming up just in my own mind, just being aware of the world events and how it seems to take up all of the media. Suddenly it switches from one thing to another, like COVID, and now it's this. And I feel it, like I feel that sense of being shaken in a deep way by all of it. Like it's just like before I even knew about what had happened, I could feel just an uneasiness that I was attributing to myself. And then I realized it must be the mind. It must be I'm experiencing something on a more, I don't know, like beyond myself. It's just something that's happening. And yeah, there's despair and just feelings of, yeah, helplessness and not knowing quite how do you respond to this? Because it's like a big call for love. It's like a big call for love. And what is the way that we can answer it? For myself is like, that's kind of that's the question. And not letting myself feel beat down in a way is something that comes up, like feeling beat down, or that idea of being a victim in some way, like, oh, like here it is again, it's always going to be here, and wanting something to change. And so anyway, it brings up a lot. So for me, and I'm not even like, I mean, I'm not involved, or I don't have a, but I'm still, it's still is, it's right in our laps. It's like, just like COVID, it's like everybody is experiencing it all over the world. It's not just one area, or where you could say, oh, it's happening over there, it's not me. It's like, no, it's me, it's in my lap, it's here. I feel like it's all just, it's for me. I can't pass it off like it's a problem over there to those people. It's like, no, this is like for me. And so just not to disassociate, I don't know. So anyway, I feel that the unrest and the feeling of being shook, just really shook by all of it, and how to respond. And yeah, and when, yeah, yeah, I can just go on, but I'll stop there, and thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah,
So
let's just
good.
all take a big sigh. Shake it out, shake it out. Thank
It's
you
so
for
true.
sharing.
We're all feeling that, Jessica. We're all feeling that. The feeling of despair and feeling shook up. that's how we know we are all one, because we're all feeling the same. That sense of helplessness. You know, here we are gathered from all around the world. Neda's in the Netherlands, I'm in Mexico. I don't know where some of you are, but we are gathered all in one, and we still feel the exact same thing. And you know, this is the beginning of a new world. I'm going to take you a little bit on a journey for just a second, but you know, many people have forgotten that this is the age of Aquarius. And you know, back when they were talking about it in the 60s, what it was going to look like, you know, at that time, there were protests, there were riots, there was the same unsettling that is happening now. Here we are 40 years later. This is what the age of Aquarius is. And Aquarius is a sign of energy waves. Many people think that the waves of the symbol of Aquarius is water, but in fact, it's energy waves. And so the energy that we're feeling is alchemy, transformation, lifting and shifting the old ways. If you think about it, in the 1960s, aren't we revisiting some of those exact same issues? 40 years later, here we are. Are we paving the road now for our children and our children's children to have the same road to repeat in 40 years? Let's hope not. Let's hope and know that they will have what they need. And so that's why coming together spiritually now, even in the experience of what they call the age of Aquarius, I always think of the movie Hair, you know, I don't know why, it's imprinted on me since I was a little girl, but it was about freedom. It was about equality. It was about living our natural, full, healthy, whole lives. And is that not what we are asking for right here, right now? It's the very same thing. But I remember, more importantly, it was about freedom. It was about change. And so that's what we're having. This is a spiritual experience, and it is uncomfortable because we had gotten too comfortable in our seats, in our positions, in our places of being, and how we were being. We were letting things slide and not paying attention. And now all eyes are open. More people are praying. Spirituality is you know, religion has gone down and spirituality has gone up. So we are the change makers. We are we are the leaders of spirit. We are the ones who are crossing the bridge. So Neda, what would you like to share? And I see Melita, did you have your hand
Yeah,
up?
beautiful. Yeah, I would love to have more people share. Who did you say had a hand up? Did you say someone had a hand up, Tonya?
Yes. Melanta, did you have your hand up? No, no, but go ahead. If you want to speak, go ahead, please, please. Yes, yes.
uh, Yay.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Sandra.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, we hear you
Okay,
perfectly.
good. I didn't have my hand up, but it's just so nice that we are doing this right now, I think, because we've been in this story of separation for so long. And I think that slavery, racism, like all the things that came forth out of that thought system affirm separation. And also because of this COVID situation, we became so aware of our connectedness globally.
Yeah.
And then now these riots are happening, and now like the George Floyd situation happened, and we are in that connected state of mind, and then this happens, so we can actually work with it in a better way than we ever could, I think. And yeah, also what Tonya was saying, it's such a really this change in paradigm is happening, and we're witnessing it, and we're actually, it's happening through us. So I'm so grateful to be part of it. Yeah, yeah. I really believe that if we can see each other, if we can realize that we're truly one, right through all the categories that we made, human categories that we made, then we will remember our power as humanity. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that, because that is truly the truth. And it is our ideas of separation that keep us in this place of wrongness and in a place of guilt and of shame. But if, again, if we're all feeling the same thing right now, a sense of hopelessness, or how can I help? How can I support? This is wrong, this is right, we're all feeling the same thing because it comes from our heart, and that's where our spirit is guiding us. Something said, even if I'm busy, something told me to show up. And even with our time, I had the wrong time, the European time. I said, I'm here, spirit, I'm here, regardless of, what else. I could shift that. I am here because I am here to truly be helpful on this planet at this time. That is what this body form known as Tonya is here for. And that's what we're all here for. And so let us remember that we are standing up. And that song of the quotes that you sang, oh, beloved sister, I was like, where's my tissue? Oh, I need my tissue. Because when you sing, it does. It hits right here. And that's why I'm so grateful we're going to have some of your voice liberation, because I know we'll all be singing, and our neighbors will be hearing. But that is having a voice, opening ourselves up to change ourselves, to liberate ourselves from the things that we've kept back from ourselves and the thoughts that we're holding on to. Where can we let go of those thoughts of separation? Where can we let go of those feelings of judgment and guilt and blame and shame? Where? Right here, right here, right here.
Yeah, you're still unmuted, Melinda. You can speak.
Oh, cool. You hear me. Yeah, I think that is what you're saying, is that that's when you like get to that true identity instead of the identities we made through skin color, through sexuality, through all of those things. Like we get to the core of what we truly are. And that is so, yeah, valuable to experience.
Yeah, beautiful. I also wanted to go into, you said something about the power, I don't know, something with power, and I was just reading something that, because of that word, it really struck me that, the ego, like I said in the beginning, it's always saying that we're powerless. We're always the innocent victim of everything that is happening to us, and oh, we're so sad. And the ego always needs a guilt, to point at a guilty one outside of us, with the belief that if someone else out there is guilty, I can be innocent. It always believes that it needs to buy innocence by giving guilt to someone else, which is insane, because like you say, we are one. It's impossible for me to perceive someone else as guilty without actually perceiving myself as guilty. And in that way, when we realize that what we see outside of ourselves is a projection of our own mind, that we actually chose separation, that there was something in separation that was attracting us. There was something that we still believe that we would benefit from being separate from God. How crazy it sounds. There is this belief of the ego wanting to be on its own, like that wave that wanted to be on its own. So it's like, okay, this is what you get if you believe that you can be separate from God, that crazy tiny mad idea. This is like an hypothetic world of what would it look like if we would believe, if we would be separate. What would that look like? And to actually realize that that was a decision in our mind, instead of like, oh, we're here and someone else decided this for us and now all of these bad things happening to us, is actually so powerful, because then we realize that we have the power to change again, to choose again. We made that choice before. We chose for separation, and we can choose again. And we choose, we have that decision every day, every time we choose. Are we using this to affirm that we separated ourselves, or are we using this as, no, I want to remember again that whatever the ego is offering me, it's never going to be as good as what God is actually offering me, as what perfect love is offering me. So like the Course says, at this moment, there will be a moment where we will lay down our children toys because we played with it long enough. It's like, okay, they don't interest me anymore. I'm done playing. I want to let them go, and I want to go on and actually to be an adult, to grow up in this sense is actually to be spiritually grown up, to realize our true nature and to not believe in monsters anymore like a little children does, but like to remember who we truly are. And we have that power. We have the power to choose for that every time. And I feel right now we are in this area where everyone is sick of these children toys. They're like, I'm done with that. There has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. We come in this area where it's like, okay, I'm done with this pain. And the ego will try once more again to say, no, but this is really happening outside of yourself. You should get really mad at those people. They are the bad ones. They need to die. They need to be punished. And it's like, oh no, because it keeps on spinning. It keeps on going in circles and circles and circles and circles until we take responsibility for our sight. Until we say, enough, enough. I don't want to see this anymore. And that doesn't mean that they have to change. It means that I need to change my mind. I need to look at, where am I still believing in separation? Because there is no world outside of me. There is no world outside of my mind. So once I change my mind, the world that I'm perceiving will change as well. Just like when I'm in a movie theater and I can touch the screen and I can do all kinds of things, but the movie is going to continue playing. If I want to change what I see on the screen, I have to go into the back and change what's in the projector. If we want to change what we see in the world, we have to change what we put in our mind. What are we believing here? What are we projecting outward? Projection makes perception. It's not the other way around. Projection makes perception. So this is where our power lies in, and it's great because that means that we're not these helpless bystanders anymore. We're actually very powerful, and we actually can do something. And again, that doesn't mean that you don't do anything in the world. This doesn't mean that you just sit on a couch all day. It doesn't mean that you stop giving money to places you were sponsoring and giving money before. That doesn't mean you don't do any of these things. They can all still be done, maybe even more. But they come now from a very clear place. They come from true empathy. They come from knowing who the other person truly is. They come from a place where you teach that whomever you meet is perfect Christ, is perfect love, is strong, is not weak, is not vulnerable, is not anything less, but is powerful. And once we teach that, we are going to learn that same lesson. And that's how that hopelessness is going to stop as well, because when we come from that place of anger, of hurt, of hopelessness, that is what we're teaching. So that's how people are like, why isn't this ever going to stop? When is this ever going to stop? They feel so hopeless. I used to have that too. I went to Africa for the first time when I was 17. And I remember just coming back home in tears. I was like, I need to feed the whole world. Like, when is this? Oh my God, I didn't do enough. I have to go back. And there was this sense of, it will never be enough. Whatever I do, I can never save this world. And that is true because I was looking to save the world outside of myself. But the world is within my mind, and that's where the healing needs to happen. That's where I need to take my responsibility. That my own mind is where I need to shine a light on, together with the spirit. The spirit being the part of my mind that actually remembers the truth. Because I don't know, my mind is really insane, where the one that believes it's Neda and projecting out all of these crazy things, that part of my mind can't heal. That part of my mind can only accept healing. It can only accept healing. It can only accept the atonement. It can only accept the truth of who we are. But there is in every single one of us, and we are all one, there is this remembrance of home. There is this knowledge. And even if we forgot who we are, that knowledge will always be there. Because true knowledge can never leave. The knowledge of who we are is placed in us by God and is kept safe by God. Because God knows who we are. God is perfect love, and therefore so are we. And that can never be changed by whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we say. And that part of our mind is like, it goes with us even in dreams. Even here, where we're dreaming, that memory of who we are, it travels with us. And it's whispering to us, and it meets us while we're walking outside, and while we think we're driving to work, and while we're doing groceries. That memory it's like everything in this dream is soaked with that memory of God, and it's just waiting for us to hear it. It's waiting for us to remember it. It's waiting for us to accept it. And that is our task as miracle workers, as light workers, to remember who we are and to accept the light that we are. And we do that by seeing the light in the other person. That's how we do it. If I can't perceive the light in you still, I cannot see it in myself. And that is it's a little bit different than what the world always is teaching. Like, if you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else? But this is actually how it is. I will love myself by loving someone else. Because if I love someone else, that means if I'm giving you something, it means that I got it. I can't give you something unless I already got it. So by giving it, this is what the Course is teaching, by giving it, I know that I've learned it, I have it. And by giving it, it only increases. It's not like in the ego world, when I give, I lose. It's when I give, it expands. It only becomes more. So when I give love, it only expands. It only multiplies. And yeah, that's what we're here for. Woo!
Yes, sister. Yes, I feel it too. I feel it too. And, you know, you said so many amazing things. And I love the idea of the movie projection, because that's exactly what it is. And, you know, even if you're not a Course in Miracles student or don't even know anything about A Course in Miracles, it's like when you were singing and we all could feel it deep in us. We felt that connection to spirit right then and there. It didn't even matter if we knew anything. Right, and when you were singing, we were home. And that's the feeling that the home is, knowing. And that is one of my favorite Course in Miracles. To give is to know you have received. Yes. How grateful I am to be alive, that I can see another person as my sister, as my brother, regardless of anything. Because if I project out into that you're different than me, then who is the projector? It's not them, it's me. And that's the thing. So many of us are caught up on what's out there. But now here we are becoming no longer seekers. We are seers. We are seers with clear vision. We're not looking at the mirror. We are looking through glass. We are looking through glass. There is no more about us, because we're so identified with ourselves, you know, and how important that we let that go and see each other as each other. And your movie analogy, that's supremely it. And there's so many things in A Course in Miracles that if you're unfamiliar with it, it sounds way out there. And I used to feel that way. I used to be like, what the hell is this about? And you even said that was your experience too.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
But then I started reading it more and I said, wait a minute. then my thoughts started changing. And then I said, wait a minute. And then I realized I wasn't judging other people, because anytime I was judging another person, it always made me feel bad, which reminded me, wait a minute, if I'm putting that out, I am the creator of it. So then I started saying, does this make sense? And then I had to tell myself, this isn't about logic.
Yeah.
This is about knowing.
Mm-hmm.
This is about knowing. And so, yeah, I'll be looking forward to having some deeper conversations in the very near future about A Course in Miracles and what and how you can bring it into your life and your experience. Because it sounds so way out there, you know. So, Neda, if you could share a little bit of how it was for you in the beginning, but also if anyone has any comments or questions or ahas, if you'd like to share, please join us. Please join us.
Yeah, I would love for maybe one more person to share if someone feels, and then we can go into the voice liberation exercise, perhaps. Someone feels, I see someone new maybe came in. So we're just sharing whatever came up this last week for you. If there's any guilt or anger or hurt, anything you feel to share, your intention for being here, whatever you feel, you can take the space. Maybe someone that doesn't have their camera on, you can also just go without a camera. If you just feel to use your voice, that is fine too. No, no one. Okay. Yeah, Malanta, you can go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh,
no one else wants to say. Oh, yeah.
there's one person, Sasha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Sasha.
Hi, good evening, actually, from Amsterdam, the Netherlands.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm new to you all. It's very interesting how this popped up in my timeline at the moment, so like half an hour before the start of your Zoom meeting. And well, we're in the Netherlands, so the George Floyd, of course, situation is known here, and we had actually in Amsterdam a very big demonstration here ourselves, also about putting racism on the bigger on the agenda again, also through the George Floyd situation, and there's a lot of turmoil after that here too, because people didn't get a meter and a half apart. It was very a peaceful situation. Nothing bad happened or anything, but it did stir up a lot. Not only about racism, but about how are we dealing with each other? How do we listen to each other? How do we get along with each other? And that's what I also typed in the chat, because I really think that through this George Floyd situation, a big change will come. So it's age of Aquarius. It's all these things all together in the stars. There's a big thing going on. The last time that I don't know the exact details, but the stars were aligned the same for the coming 2 years as it was 250 years ago, at the end of the Civil War of America, when laws changed, when things, when America was born and all these things. So now the world is in the same spot. And that's so interesting that with these, like with COVID, like what you said, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, Maria, I think. You know, everybody is together through COVID, and now George Floyd comes, and you can sort of like ride the wave that was already started. So that's very interesting, I think. It's a very interesting time, and today's a very interesting day with a lunar eclipse and with a full moon. And I thought, ladies, like-minded ladies all together, I'm going to join this. So here I am. Nice meeting you all.
Thank you, Sasha. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
joining.
Sasha. Thank you. Did anyone else want to say anything?
Yeah, I just want to say hello. I'm in Ireland. My name is Linda. I know Tonya.
Hi, Linda. Hi, beloved.
Hello, Jessica. And I really messed up the time because
No, I messed up the
8 p.m.
time.
It's 8
It's my
p.m. here. No, it's
yeah.
not. No, it said 8 p.m. and I didn't realize that's Holland. So I'm an hour late to the party, but it's lovely to be here. So thank you.
You're perfectly on time.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, beloved. I really appreciate you. All of you, actually.
And we will also send you the replay so you can watch the beginning part. Yeah. So Malanta, and then we go into.
I wanted to share
Jessica.
something too.
Oh.
That's okay. Hi. So I'm actually Dutch and I live in Wisconsin in America. And what I think about America, the divide is so big. Democrats, Republicans, and the hatred between it is so incredible that I really am praying for that division. I mean, it's in me, you know, what we know, it's actually in me to come together, but that this is happening with George Floyd was horrible. And what you've been saying is something good is going to come of this. And I liked Tonya saying, this is the age of Aquarius and the new order. And that's what I feel too. That's what I felt with Corona. That's what I feel with this. And I've heard a long time ago, this is years ago, that at some point all the soldiers are going to lay down their arms and they don't want to do that anymore. And I see that happening here now, that policemen, they don't want to fight anymore. They actually go with the demonstrators. They say, no, we're not against you. We demonstrate with you. And where I live, there's a curfew now. You probably all know, but there's a curfew and there've been lots of riots. But a couple of the last nights, the police didn't step in. They just let them after the curfew. They were still demonstrating, but very peaceful. And I thought that was just, yeah. So I'm so happy about that was happening, you know. And yeah, it's a big healing in myself. I feel very uproared myself with this whole thing going on. So yeah, it's just so great that the healing is in me, and for me to find the peace in me, you know. Yeah. So thank you all. I'm really glad to be here.
Thank you, Elisa. Thank you for sharing. Maria, did you have something to share as well?
Well,
Something is up with your microphone. Lots of feedback.
this is not.
Woo, party!
Love you.
Okay. Maybe you can type it. Maybe you can type it for now. And let's see. I don't know what is up, or go in and out. I don't know. Maybe you'll type it and then we can read it. And Malanta, I think, wanted to share one last thing. Yeah, you can. Can you unmute yourself? Yeah. Great.
Yes. Yeah, I was just thinking about the riots and the anger that we also perceive. And I really believe like fire is such a transformative element, you know? So I can definitely imagine that the anger that is coming out is also liberation. And I think it's important that we get through it, you know, instead of sticking with the anger, like move through it and transcend the previous paradigm into, okay, so we've been very angry about what was happening. So what is the new vision? You know, what do we wish for ourselves as a humanity? And the way I see it, it's also about oppression of the feminine energy and not exactly not only women, not just women, but the feminine energy within all of us, because that is so focused on connecting and on nourishing each other and caretaking and also equality. And yeah, femininity has been oppressed for centuries, of course, you know. And I believe as I look around, and we are a lot of women here, and like we have this feeling within us of we need to unite, and that is rising within all of us. And I think that will also really help us, that the consciousness of this type of energy will help us through these changes. So that was what came up to me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, yeah, that made me think on I have a cousin, one of my first cousins. He always used to bring me in so much troubles when we were children. He always just really he would tell me things um like let's walk with our eyes closed until we can't find the way back anymore, or yeah, no, my mom doesn't mind if we paint the wall, you know, we can just paint it. And she asked me to do it, you know, and I would always like go with him and get in trouble. And and it's so funny because he was, well, it's not really funny, but I'm thinking on it now that he sent me a WhatsApp message with all of these videos of the riots here in Rotterdam, where I was in as well, really in a very peaceful spot, and I was like with my boyfriend and his daughter, and we even made it to the news. It was really funny. We had this sign of like be kind to each other, and we sang a little song, and they filmed us, and it was like so peaceful. So I thought like it was such a nice reflection of, oh, this is actually really loving. And later, I got these videos from him showing a whole different type of riot, and it was the same. It was in the same city. It was in my city, and there were all people saying "fuck the police, fuck the police," and I was like, "What? I didn't see this." And apparently, they took him in as well, and he was asking for footage from people if they filmed his arrest and stuff. He always, yeah, just ends up in these type of things and, and gets really mad. But I thought, as I was looking at the footage, I thought it was so interesting to just look at them cursing and yelling at the police and like throwing things on the cars. And I was seeing, like, I was reminded of when Ken Wapnick always says, like, if I would have a dream right now, I would wake up and I had a dream about you doing something bad to me, and in the morning I would be mad at you. It would be really weird. You would look at me like, what did I do? Because I just had a dream about you. It wasn't the real you. And I thought it was so representative for this projection towards these police officers, because they were now screaming to them, fuck you, fuck you, fuck the police. And they didn't even know these police officers, but there was just this image in their mind. There's this dream of, you know, all cops are now bad, and we're just gonna project it on every cop that we're seeing. But I mean, it's just so interesting to see, like, oh yeah, where am I doing that as well? Like, even in little things, where am I blaming my partner for, you know, when I don't feel good, I'm blaming him that, you know, he should have done something different. Or it's like in such little things where we actually do the same things. And it's just so great to be mindful of that, seeing like, oh yeah, where am I still just perceiving my own belief in guilt outside of myself? And you can so clearly see the projection of the ego happening right now, that is going on now on so many different levels. But it just, I think, like you are already saying, it's becoming so apparent right now, which is actually good, because we need to see it. We need to see it. It needs to come up. And then is the question, okay, now what are we going to do with it? We see it. Are we now going to use it as evidence, like, yes, look, guilt is real. Look, people are really bad. Look, you know, people need to be punished. Or are we going to use this now for the purpose of the spirit and to awaken? And this is the choice we have every time. What are we using it for? And I am deciding that goal. And by deciding that, we know what we decided on by what we see and what we experience. So if I'm experiencing peace, I know that I've decided for the goal of the spirit. It's very easy. So if I'm not in peace, it must mean that I've decided for the goal of the ego. And it's no problem because I can always choose again. It's not like a boat like I'm stuck on forever. It's like, oh, I chose the ego. It's no turning back. Like we can always choose again. And I love this from the Course, that it's so either this or that. It's not like a little bit. It says, I'm never upset for the reason I think. And anger is never justified. You know, I can never be unfairly treated. And all of these things, it's so clear. So that doesn't mean that I can't feel that. It doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to get angry. It doesn't mean, you know, that I'm not allowed to be upset. But it does make it so clear that when I'm upset, it is because I chose to listen to the interpretation of the ego. What I'm seeing, I'm listening, and I'm choosing for the purpose of the ego to use what I'm seeing for that purpose. And that hurts. That hurts. So it's great that when we get in touch with our feelings, it becomes this barometer for, oh, I just chose for the wrong teacher. And I can choose again. And then we can just say, like, okay, Spirit, help me. You know, help me. I'm perceiving this right now on the news. I'm making it real in my mind. I'm seeing a bunch of assholes here. I'm trying hard, but I can't see them in the light. I'm trying hard. Just help me. I can't see it. My eyes can't perceive that love, but what I can do is ask for help, and I can ask to see it different. Help me to see it different. Help me to not use this to make the error real, to not affirm and confirm that the separation is real, but help me to use this to remember who I am and to be truly helpful. And yeah, that's what we're doing right now. So thank you for
Yes,
for
yes.
doing that.
That is, thank you so much for that. And I have this card that I keep in my book, and I'm going to share it with you all. And this is also from A Course in Miracles, these little cards that I get. And it says, in any situation in which you are uncertain, the first thing to consider very simply is, what do I want to come from this? What is it for? The clarification of the goal belongs at the beginning.
Exactly.
So when we ask, what is this for? Is this to teach me? Is this to grow me? Is this to expand me? And that's why I love what you said about the boat, because we do get to choose again and over and over. And every second, in every moment is an opportunity to choose again, because we know it only takes a minute for us to pop out of our happiness and our joy, but it also only takes a minute for us to pop back into our peace.
Exactly.
It truly is a second by second opportunity for us to say, ooh, I must have decided wrongly. I am choosing something different.
Yeah,
So,
and I love from that I must have decided wrongly prayer also that it says without guilt. You know,
yes,
it
no
says
guilt
that part,
here.
there's no guilt, there's no need for guilt, because the Holy Spirit will undo all the consequences of my wrong decision. So also, again, I can notice that with myself a lot of times, that maybe you recognize it when you do realize, like, oh, I've been judging that person, or oh shit, I attacked that person. Actually, I wasn't really nice to that person. And then you get mad at yourself for it. It's like, oh, I'm so stupid. Here I am practicing and teaching the course, and I'm still attacking someone else. And you know, so instead of now attacking that person, now you're attacking yourself. You're still doing the same thing. So it's really important to remember, like, we can choose again without guilt. We can hand it over, and we can, and even for that, if that guilt does come in, again, can we use that? Can we offer that to the Spirit? Say, Spirit, you know, I'm feeling guilty for attacking my brother. Can you help me with this? Can you shine a light upon this?
Oh, I love that. And let me share one of my favorite, and this goes so perfect, one of my favorite ways of correcting myself is what I call a flag. You know, like in football, you throw down a flag. And so the flag is, the first step is forgiveness. I forgive myself. Then the L is I love myself. The A is I accept myself. And the G is the gratitude to know. So whenever I catch myself and I'm like, oh, flag, I need a flag, I just
think you
throw
need
my
to
hands up.
repeat that. I think you need to say that again. Let's go
So
through
it's
it
a
once
flag.
more.
Yeah, so
F
the
stands
flag,
for
F stands for forgiveness. And it's just, I
forgiveness.
just tell myself right away, I forgive myself for choosing wrongly, for having this thought, for getting upset. L is for love. I love myself. Underneath all of these things, underneath all, whatever I did, whatever I said, I love myself. A is the acceptance. I accept myself regardless. I am of goddess. I am of spirit. Spirit is with me. Spirit always has my back. It is me who forgot. So I accept myself. And then G is the gratitude to remember the first three. Thank goddess I remembered. Thank goddess I remembered the truth about myself. And then when you remember it for yourself, you absolutely remember it for everyone else. Because guess what? Oops, I made a mistake. That's all. Mistakes can happen to anyone. I learned that from what, Sesame Street when I was a little kid. We all make mistakes, you know? And so just call a flag. Ooh, flag.
Forgiveness, love, acceptance,
Acceptance
gratitude.
and gratitude. Yes.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And thank you for whoever wrote that in the chat. And I know I said that really fast, but that's spirit just comes through. And I know that is something that I've shared before because it really allows you to take a moment to pause. And that's all it is a moment. Flag. Come right here. I forgot.
Beautiful.
I forgot.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Alanta?
Yeah, actually what you all are saying just confirms to me like, oh yeah, we really have to remember where our true power lies. And our true power is not power over someone or controlling someone, but it's really indeed getting back to your heart and actually moving into that silent witness and remembering the truth. And that is really power if you can act from that truth instead of, we have learned to directly respond, react, you know, and then we forget to take our whole being with us in our action. And yeah, so this is just a really nice reminder of all of that, of our true being, who we truly are.
Okay,
So let's liberate our voices.
Yeah, I would love to take you guys into a little experiential right now. Thank you all so much for sharing. So I'd love for you to just get comfortable. For the people who are new to this, just feel whatever feels good. So okay, voice liberation is really not about singing beautifully. It's just really about getting in touch with your deeper emotions. And our voice is just like the most beautiful vehicle for carrying those emotions up and out, giving them space, shining a light upon them. So just get comfortable, see how you're sitting, see if your body wants to do something, wants to move. Maybe pull some funny faces. Move your body. Move your head. Maybe you want to shake a bit or stretch. Do whatever feels good for you. And if you can also make some sound with that. big sighs, and you can do this on a sound. So you just breathe in and breathe out on a relaxing sound. Maybe it feels good to move your body even more or shake it out a bit. Just really trust where your body is taking you in this. And as it feels okay for you, you can close your eyes. Just feel your seat, feel your feet on the floor. Feel the breath going through your belly, through your chest. We remember that the Spirit is guiding us through this whole session. We hand over our voice. We hand over our mind, our thoughts, our feelings for the purpose of healing. So wherever it feels good, you can continue with making those big sighs, just giving your thoughts and feelings some extra space with every sigh. It's like you're just welcoming whatever wants to be seen. Then just scan your body, scan your mind, and allow any thoughts or feelings to come up. Anything that we've been talking about or that you've been experiencing regarding the death of George Floyd, regarding everything that followed, the riots, the racism, feelings of injustice, corona, whatever is coming up for you, just give it space. Where am I feeling this in my body? Where am I storing this? Is it in my pinky finger, or is it in my belly? Is it in my chest? Is it in my throat? Oh, is it in my face or in my heart? And as you allow this feeling to come up, give your voice over to this feeling, and you're basically inviting this feeling to come up and out through your voice, through whatever sound that it wants to come up and out, and see if you can make this be a comfortable sound for you, if you can. So again, let go of any beliefs in that it has to sound beautiful. It can be really weird sounds. Just be open to receive and to listen without judgment. And as we let these sounds come up and out, you can imagine yourself dropping all of these sounds into the hand of the Spirit. So I'll repeat it once more again. You invite your feelings and your emotions in, you look at them, you give your voice over to whatever comes up in whatever part of your body, whatever thought, and as you let a sound come out from that feeling, you can picture yourself dropping those sounds into the hands of the Spirit. If you find it difficult to start, you can start with those sighs and just just make those sighs longer and longer until they become tones. Really try to relax your jaw. With your voice. It's like whatever was being kept down and being kept under, you're giving your voice to it, inviting it to come up and out, letting every sound drop into the hands of the Spirit. It can be loud sounds or soft sounds. Images of the past that are coming up, let them come up. Let them come up and out through your voice. Don't let anything in. If you feel anger, feel free to shout or scream. If you feel sad, feel free to sing your tears. If you feel joy, feel free to sing your laughs. Brothers and sisters throughout all the world. No one is excluded. And all of the angels are surrounding us. And as we give our voice over now to the Spirit, to these angels, we allow them to sing a song for us, a song of remembrance, a song of truth, a song to remember who we are. So hand your voice over to the Spirit, hand your voice over to these angels as you stand side by side with all of your brothers and sisters, receiving the atonement, receiving this gift, receiving, restoring what was lost, accepting what was rejected. And if this is just sound, that is fine, but maybe you're hearing words coming from the Spirit, coming from these angels. Allow yourself to sing these words. Don't judge anything that comes up, even if it sounds weird. Just allow these words to come up as we sing this song of truth for all of humanity. As a song, a wake-up song to remember our truth. So take a deep breath in. Hand your voice over. Step back and receive. To receive whatever is coming up for you. Maybe it's a sentence, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a prayer, maybe it's just a silent feeling that is coming over you. See their light going in you, all of your cells, and all of your thoughts. See yourself surrounded by this beautiful light. What is their message for you? See if you can receive it. brothers surrounded by this beautiful energy field. See the whole world filled with this light. No one excluded, no one left out. All equally loved, all equally innocent. We hand over all of our thoughts to the Spirit. We hand over our past and all generations past as well. We hand over all of our futures and all futures to come. As we remember that God is only love, and therefore so are we. As we remember that we do not have the power to change who we are, that who we are is perfect love, perfect light, perfect spirit. And whatever we think we ever did or will do in this dream does not have the power to change who we are. We are love. We are innocent. And so is everyone else around us. And we ask for the guidance, we ask for the help of the Spirit to truly remember this, to truly experience this, to feel this, to know this. Because what we want is peace. We want to come to know ourselves. So we give it all to you. And we accept your love, Spirit. We accept your love, God. We accept the atonement for ourselves. I accept you. I accept you. Accept you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Staying in this moment of so much grace and gratitude, this vibration that is flowing from my heart to each of yours. I take this breath, this pause, to pray, to recognize that Spirit is always with us right here, right now. The presence is the present. And as we allow ourselves to take a breath, we absolutely know that Spirit is right there with us, guiding us, providing us, supplying us, teaching us, and healing us. Oh, and I'm just so grateful that Spirit has allowed my beloved sister and I to be the gatherers, to be the ones who brought this experience to the world, to our sisterhood or our brotherhood. And I know as we allow ourselves to expand, we expand the hearts and minds of those around us. So I give thanks. I give thanks for this technology. I give thanks for each and every one of you, my beloved sister Neda, for the day, for the time, for our world, for every man, woman, and child, every tree and every sea, every animal and every insect. I give thanks that we are joined in the one mind, in the one heart, in the one place and space. Cover us, Spirit, with your light. Heal us with your truth. Bless us, truly bless us. I give thanks and I release and let it go into the universe. And so it is. Ashe, and so it shall be. Oh, beloved sister. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that opportunity to join with you, for all of us.
Thank you. Feels so good. I see Maria sharing. I really could not breathe any longer. I'm fine. I'm free, and I will never return. Thank you, my brother. Beautiful, Maria. Yeah, we still have
Thank you.
6 minutes, and I'm also cool with staying a bit longer if there's more people that feel to share. But let's open it up if anyone wants to share their experience. Yeah.
I definitely felt my heart vibrating, and I wasn't here anymore. I was there, wherever there is, I was there. So, and I'm grateful I got to share that experience with everyone, because it did bring us all together. And Neda, your voice, your energy, your spirit, it was true voice liberation. I felt the liberation in my mind, in my body, and my spirit. So anybody else would like to share that experience?
You can just unmute yourself, I think, if someone would like to speak. I see there's a comment in the comments. Irma, thank you very much. This was wonderful. Thank you, Irma, for being here. So great seeing you again. Jen
Thank you, Jen.
Rodman saying, thank you so much. This was so beautiful.
And Elise, thank you for this. It was so profound. I'm full of gratitude for this and have the separation in me to be healed. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was really incredible for me. I had at some point I had these African sounds coming out of me, and I don't know, it was so profound. And I've been seeing that I want to change my dream figures, but it's so much beyond, you know. It's to heal the division in me, the separation in me. And yeah, and so I'm so grateful. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Thank
Wow.
you,
Thank you, Neda. Thank you, Tonya. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, it was really, really beautiful. I feel so peaceful. I was really, the last days, I was so like not feeling, yeah, just horrible and angry and, you know, and yeah, wanting to change things outside. And it's like, no, it's just here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else feels like sharing their experience or what has come up for you? Jessica?
Could share. It was felt something literally lifting. So it was wonderful. Thank you. I just could feel something lifting like off my head, and I could see the spirit like just saying, hey, arms open, welcome, all of it. And it was just so powerful. Thank you. Yes.
Beautiful. We hear the sirens in the back. Like, wake up, wake up.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Neda.
Well, I had some interruptions with my husband looking for some pants that he couldn't find. I had to go and get all that, and I missed part of the beginning of the voice liberation. And I also saw in me not the freedom to really be as loud as I wanted because it's an apartment and whatever. So I was just observing all those things. But I know, thank you, that you will have the video. I'm going to come back to it again and do it again. But even without having done the whole thing, I still just felt love. So music has always been the vessel God used to reach me. So I've been touched, and I know it will be even bigger. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Karine. Thank you. Anyone else feels like sharing?
Hi.
Yeah.
Can you ladies hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
That's my daughter, Miana.
Hi.
I'll keep it brief because my window's open and I'm on the ground floor. But no, it was really awesome and really healing. I feel like I'm on my moon cycle, but I still feel like heavy in my stomach and my source of power. So I think for me, it was like a lot of deep belly breaths, or like feeling like I can like let that energy out, and a lot of lion's breaths too, a lot of deep, I don't know, ahas or noises. And then I got my Course in Miracles book here, and I just opened it to page 70, and it's My Salvation Comes From Me. So the book is always...
That is so beautiful. That's so weird too. I just received today my first Spanish Course in Miracles book, and I just opened it on that exact same lesson right before our session.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess it's in the middle of the book. No, it's still, no, but thank you.
Beautiful. Wow. Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Wow, I feel so light. I feel the lightness. And so that's how we know. That's how we truly know. We are one. And when we close our eyes, when we're not looking with these eyes, we truly are one. So many deep bows and blessings to you, my sister, for being here with me and us coming together. I know this is the first of many conversations and connections that you and I will have. And this bridge called Divided, we are meeting here. We'll be meeting here again. And
Yeah,
so
let's call it a bridge united after
that's right.
tonight.
Yeah, after tonight. So again, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And all of you, thank you for your time, your attention, your intention. We are going to change the world, starting with us. So I love you all. Thank you.
Love you. I will send you all the replay later tonight. Much love, much love, much love. Love you all. Mwah.
Thank you.
Blessings. Have a beautiful night if you're in Holland time as well. Beautiful afternoon or evening wherever you are. Much love.